Hey guys, Chris Guy here with an unboxing video. This one's from my man Kentaro on Instagram. I hope I'm saying that right. Make sure everything's in frame. Yeah, it is. Okay, so he thought he'd send me some stuff, so let's see what we got. My Alpha Beast, we'll use that to open this box. And that is well taped, goodness gracious. This knife is not that sharp either. I'd open it from the other side, but I don't want to reveal address info and stuff like that. No need to dox anyone. I'm making so many people mad with how I'm cutting with a knife right now. All right. This is something. This is something. This is something. All right, that's empty. Thanks, Post Office, for making this like almost 24 hours late from what it was supposed to be. My state's USPS is kind of lame. Doesn't work out too well. Let's see what's in this box. We got a Benchmade. I already know what this is going to be. Ooh, a Benchmade sheath. I love these Benchmade sheaths, by the way. They're genuinely, like, awesome. I love them. Oh, wow. This is not what I expected. I actually really wanted a 62. This one's in, like, pristine condition, too. Wow. I don't know if y'all know, but I actually really like the 6X series. I know that it's not the most popular Balisong, but, ooh, that could use some oil. Let me get some oil from behind me. But, gotta use that, trusty old Bach, grease. But, no, I genuinely love the 6X series. I don't think they get enough, like, they came at a bad time. They really did. Like, they should have came way earlier than they did. And people were still salty about the 42. Let's work that lubrication in the pivots. I'm forgetting this is probably the sharpest knife I've touched in the past, like, 3 years. Man, that tip is pristine. This must be like, man, this really is in great condition. Oh, man. Oh, I love the 6X series. Man, I actually have a 42 right here. I'll pull it out and compare. It'll be a good collection. I never thought I'd hold both of these in my hands at the same time. That's pretty crazy. So we got pretty similar blade lengths here, pretty similar blades in general. You can tell Benchmade actually messed up the grind a little bit if I come in real close. It goes up to the top just a little bit too early. But my 42, I probably just got louder because I'm standing up. I nicked the tip on my 42. I was really sad when that happened, and it's crazy just how different these feel. Like, this is certainly not a replacement for this. However, I do like this, and I never thought I'd own 2 of them, so thank you very much. I cannot read from here. I have it pulled up over there. Let me... yes, Kentaro. And that would be KEIJI_KOBASHI_OMFG on Instagram. So yeah, thanks, man, for sending me this. Man, I'm gonna start flipping this. I might take the latch off because I kind of like want to keep it in pretty good shape. But man, I used to have a 67, and the 67 is probably my favorite blade because I'm a Tanto guy. I know Chris Guy likes Tanto blades. Go figure. But my first Balisong was a Tanto, and I just really like Tanto blades. So let's get that off to the side. See what this is next. I'm gonna take a wild guess. I know what this is. Yep. Wow. BRS Alpha Beast, just like my Alpha Beast. But this one has different spacers in it, as you can see. This one has a lot looser tolerances than mine does. Wow, that's really interesting. It feels weird flipping an Alpha Beast without weight behind it. That's going to take some getting used to, but wow. It's weird because it carries in ways you wouldn't, like it carries weight like you wouldn't expect. But at the same time, man, I have to like borderline crouch in this recording setup. But yeah. Is that edge still there? Yeah. I don't know about that, but man, is this like acid wash? I can't tell. You can tell my Alpha Beast has seen better days. And it's really a shame because people, like, the Alpha Beast used to be like the Balisong to get. Like, it used to be what everyone talked about, made by flippers for flippers. And, like, people were constantly, like, camping Knife Center, waiting to get the next drop of Alpha Beast. And these days, people just don't care. It's like, people really do not care about the Alpha Beast as much anymore. And I know people still do. Obviously, people still do. But, like, the flipping landscape has just changed from what it used to be. It's just not what it was anymore. And people are just seem less interested in knives like the Alpha Beast. And, like, people these days just seem more interested with like trainers, like the clones that you can get on Amazon these days. And like, clones were big back when I was getting into it, especially the 42. The 42 was heavily cloned, but like even companies like BB Barfly are getting cloned, and it's crazy. But that's funny. Whoever put okay, I was about to say, well, I snapped 2 heads off these screws because the tensile strength sucks on these screws. And I was going to say, maybe he did the same thing, but there's just barrel spacers in here, so maybe he just didn't put 2 of them in here. I like a rear bias flipper, but I'll give this a shot, see how it goes. Move on to the next thing. I know what this is. Another Benchmade. I love Benchmade. Benchmade will forever be my favorite, but wow. I remember I got to flip one of these at Blade Show. But, like, really. But it's been a long time since then. I haven't picked one up since then. And I'll grab my Morpho right here. I actually never had the Stonewash blade on mine. You can tell my tolerances are so... I almost have blade play forwards and backwards because the handles are touching. I just need to take out the Zen pins and spin them a little because there's flat spots in them, but... It's crazy. Wow, that is such a difference. It doesn't even feel like the same knife. Like, genuinely. But I'm sure this is probably... Yeah, that's got the factory edge on it. But I actually never had the Stonewash blade on this 51. I had the black blade starting off, and I changed my mind, and I asked Benchmade to swap it over to a Stonewash blade, and the best they do was a satin. And I regret getting the black wash blade. I really thought it was going to help fight corrosion, given that I live in such a humid state, because, and that's just the thing, people exaggerate everything online, like, everything. It's like, you know, you could really combat any kind of rust with, like, a little bit of oil, but everyone's like, don't get D2 if you live in a humid climate. It's like, for someone who's never had a Balisong, it makes it sound like high carbon steel. Like, I don't even know how bad high carbon steel is, but like, people are like, oh my goodness, it rusts so easily. It's like, I've never had one of my knives rust on me unless I like put it down and like never touched it. And I mean, I lubricate my knives and I put oil on the blade and stuff, but like, people really make it out to be like, you can't have D2 if you live in a state like Louisiana or Mississippi or Georgia or something like that. I'm just like, that's just not any further from the truth. Like, you can have D2, like, and it's not like a hassle. Like, that was the thing. I didn't want it to be a hassle, but like, it's not. You just literally have to oil it once in a while. Like, unless you're like washing it off with soap and water constantly because you use your knife to make food, like rust is really not going to be a problem for D2. But people really just, and I would have gotten the Stonewash blade otherwise, but I just didn't because I thought it was going to be such a big deal with the rust. But yeah, I really love the classic hole pattern. Like, I really love this one, too. I didn't realize this. I didn't realize that the scales were just completely bare in there. Like, there's not any kind of anodizing at all. Focus, come on. There's no, I forget what they call this. Jeweling. There's no jeweling on the scales. I never noticed that. You know, ironically, this feels like a hunter's knife because it's orange. You know, the orange stands out. I don't know if that's what they were going for because I know this was like a Blade HQ special. It's interesting how they always change the stamps too. Focus, come on, focus. Sorry, my camera's shaking. I bumped it, but yeah. The Morpho also used to be like a must-have Balisong. And I was talking to him about that, Kentaro, who sent me this stuff. Thank you very much. But like the 51 really used to be like one of the quintessential starting Balisongs. And then whenever the Alpha Beast and the Replicant came out and stuff like that, people were just like, you gotta get these two because like you may not like the 51, but it's really handy, it's really light. And then the Alpha Beast is just like made by flippers for flippers. Just really good build quality, really well made. The kind of tolerances, the kind of build quality, the kind of balance and design that you would want. All the way from the chevrons to the slots to the shape of the latch. I mean, they just really shaped it. And now like the 1.0s and the 2.0s were really hard to come by. And I actually got the first generation of 3.0, and that's what this is right here. I don't know which generation this is, but I remember flipping later generations of, man, that feels so strange. I never thought I'd feel an Alpha Beast without rear end weight, but I kind of like it. I might give it a shot, might keep going with it. I might find some spacers and replace it because I never really got into modifying my Balisong besides just like, I did an ano on this because I wanted to try anodizing, but besides that, I mean, man. Also, it feels like the profile on these blades are just different. Is it just me? Like it feels like the sweep on the Bowie on the top one is just more aggressive. I'm not imagining that. It really is. It's gotta be. Whatever the case, it's funny. It looks like the handles and the blades are mismatched. It really does look like that. I actually had the original, and this is a Bowie only because I swapped blades with someone, but I originally had the Scimitar blade, which is my favorite blade design. And then I got the Alt, and then someone wanted to trade, and I think the Alt might have been my second favorite, but the Scimitar blade, whatever they call it, is my favorite blade. It was the best balanced in my opinion, and it looked the coolest. But the Bowie is nice, and it's not critical which one you have in my eyes, but if I could go back, I wouldn't have traded my blade. I would have kept it. The reason I traded was because the Alt blade that someone had a rounded spine. And once I got that Alt blade, I really just let myself flip this thing because the blade was kind of little, nicked up a little bit. So I was like, okay, I think I'm okay with dropping my Alpha Beast on concrete. And I don't regret that part. Like, that part's fine. Like, I love all the scratches and the character this thing has. Like, people used to be like, oh, you don't want to get snail trails on your Microtech Tachyon because it's, like, got bead blasted handles. I'm like, you're missing the point. But, like, I get it. Like, I would absolutely not take my 42 and just go drop it on concrete. Especially since I got so lucky to find one that was in such good condition. It kind of broke my heart to have that nick taken out the tip. But it's not terrible. There's a couple super small chips in the handles right here. I try to keep my 42 nice because, and I still flip it, mind you. I don't carry it around with me every day. I mean, it's just too expensive, rare, and valuable to me, and I've always wanted one. It's just like having that old muscle car. Like, people tell me, it's like, I was talking to someone at a delivery actually, and they were like, I noticed that they had a a fake tac, what's Microtech, and I had asked them, hey, is that a Microtech? They're like, no, it's a fake. I was like, oh, and they were like, yeah, you I'm not gonna latch it open. Screw it. He was talking about how, like, literally, he just doesn't, he doesn't buy any real ones, and like the clones are just better, or just for the money they're just cheaper and better. I'm like, what do you mean they're better and cheaper? And I mean, like, obviously they're cheaper, but what do you mean they're better? And like, clones really have gotten a lot better. It's kind of crazy how much better clones have gotten over the years. But like, genuinely, clones are, you know, I might actually EDC this. I'm genuinely thinking about it, because with my job, this would be like the perfect EDC Balisong, and might get a little wear on it, but I might actually EDC this knife. But it would just be a perfect candidate. But it was just like, yeah, I just like the clones and stuff, and I'm like, oh, and we got to talking about Balisongs. And I was just like, yeah, I got some nice Balisong, some real Benchmades, because he was talking about like the Benchmade Infidel clone he had and the Bug Out clone that he had. And I'm just talking to him, and I am saying so much, goodness gracious. But it was just like, I can't get behind the idea of like owning a knife and not using it. I'm like, yeah, I totally understand like the whereabouts where people come from when they make statements like that. Like, I get it, but like, I made the analogy, like, yeah, it's like having, like, I don't know, that 67 Mustang or like that 70s Camaro. It's just such a cool thing. It's like I always wanted one since I was like a kid, but I never got to actually have one. And it's like, yeah, but like, what good is it if you don't use it? And it's like, and I totally get it. Like, I there's two perspectives. Like, there's people who there's people who collect Balisongs and just put them on shelves, and that's one thing. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, yes, it does take knives out of the market flow, but at the same time, that's sometimes a good thing, because like years later, it's like so hard to find certain Balisongs. No single collector is going to collect all the Microtech Tachyons or all the Benchmade Model 51s. It leaves, it's like projects, and I do a lot of audio projects, if y'all have seen lately, but it's really like having a save file early on in the project. Like, yeah, it's done, but like you saved it, or you saved parts of the project, and then you go back and listen to it, and you're like, wow, I really glad I have this, because I can pull it from the old one and put it in the new one. And that's how I did my Audacity project. And this is kind of off topic, but like, before I switched to Reaper, I was using Audacity, and I literally had to make a backup file anytime I did any major set of changes, because it's a linear editor. It's not a modular editor. Like, I don't know the terminology, but Reaper, you can adjust things like reverb and take it off. Audacity, you cannot. So I just think of collectors like that, they're doing the community a favor, and they're really just putting knives in a safe somewhere, because eventually someone's going to flip through all the 51s that are in people's hands, and they're eventually going to break. But maybe, just maybe, there's going to be a few 51s left that are in really good condition. And maybe they're going to be, maybe not worth something, but they're going to be a display for the lucky people who get to hold it to what the 51s used to be back when they were actually valuable. Man, there's so much play in this. It's not just loose or anything. I mean, it is probably kind of loose. Yeah, it's a little loose, but I need to like actually take it apart and clean it and stuff. And I don't flip this one a whole lot. I don't flip a whole lot in general. I want to change that. Like, I'm kind of in a schedule now, and I'm not like constantly over the road, too scared to bring my knives with me. So, working a day job. So, I mean, I can start flipping again. And I'm trying to save up to like actually, because I'm living with my dad right now. I want to move out, but I just got done paying off my debt with him. And next I'm going to be working towards my next vehicle that I can hopefully live out of and have all of my instruments and stuff with me, because I want to keep making music. Of course. And yeah, it's crazy how small the spacers are. It's just one screw. They're completely sandwich fit, and then there's one threaded barrel that it screws through on both sides. I forgot. I always wondered if these screws screwed in and then had a center barrel like these, or whether they were actual sex bolts, which they are. They're sex bolts. The only difference is that they have a screw head on the back side so that you can hold one still while you unscrew the other. And it's a better design. It really is. But wow. It really does make me look like I have a little bit of a collection here. But, I mean, if you just throw in the other ones I have, I mean, I got my BB barflies here. I know they don't really fit in the picture of all this. My fireflies in my vehicle, I can't grab it, but yeah, this is, I guess this is my collection now, but yeah, that was an unboxing video. Thank you very much, Kentaro, for sending me this stuff. I really appreciate that. You know, it's funny, there's no latch for that Alpha Beast, and my Alpha Beast doesn't have a latch either. Not that I was going to use the latch or that I need it, but I was actually at Blade Show in 2017, and that's when I forfeited my latch to someone for the sake of a trade. I actually had another Alpha Beast during that show at some point, but I ended up trading it in the middle of it. I traded a lot of stuff. I kind of missed my 32. I wish I didn't get rid of that, but hey, we all make decisions we wish we didn't. My Tachyon 3 aluminum is long gone. That was stolen in a trade, because I was a dumb kid when I was back in 2016, however old I was. But hey, you live and you learn. It's not the end of the world. It was just a lot of money for me. I felt bad. It was I worked to get that Tachyon, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I always wanted a Microtech, and you know, it got stolen from me, and whatever. That guy's long gone. He probably beat it or destroyed it. But ironically, for the trade, I was supposed to be getting an Alpha Beast that kind of looked like this. I think it had like purple handles, but it kind of looked like this. I guess it's kind of full picture now. Isn't that funny? I finally got the Alpha Beast that I got scammed out of 9 years ago. Yeah, that's actually crazy. But I think that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm going to try to make more Balisong content. I really like making the music content, because it allows me to expand my skills and doing all that. And whether you like them or not, sorry, but I enjoy making them a lot. So I'm going to keep making those, but and I would just make a separate channel, but I just genuinely don't want to. YouTube's already screwed up enough. I don't need to deal with it twice. But anyways, which knife am I going to drop for the video? I don't know. The 51. All right, y'all have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.